42% of Americans are vitamin D deficient. Let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about nearly half the population lacking adequate amounts of a nutrient critical for immune function, bone health, mood regulation, and dozens of other physiological processes. Yet we don't treat this like the public health crisis it actually is. Instead, we've normalized fatigue, frequent infections, and seasonal depression as just part of modern life. The reasons for widespread deficiency are straightforward. Humans evolved spending significant time outdoors with skin exposed to sunlight, which triggers vitamin D synthesis. Modern humans spend most waking hours indoors under artificial light. When we do go outside, we're covered in clothing and sunscreen, both necessary for skin cancer prevention but eliminating vitamin D production. If you live above the 37th parallel, which includes most of the United States, there's insufficient UVB radiation in winter for any vitamin D synthesis, regardless of sun exposure. Darker-skinned individuals face even higher deficiency rates. Melanin reduces vitamin D synthesis efficiency, requiring longer sun exposure for the same production. In northern latitudes, vitamin D deficiency among dark-skinned populations can exceed 80%. This isn't discussed enough in public health messaging. Food sources are woefully inadequate. Fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified milk provide some vitamin D, but nowhere near enough to correct deficiency or maintain optimal levels. You'd need to eat multiple servings of salmon daily to meet requirements through food alone. This is why supplementation isn't optional for most people. It's necessary. Here's where most people and even many doctors get it wrong. Normal lab ranges aren't the same as optimal. Labs typically report deficiency as below 20 nanograms per milliliter and sufficiency as above 30. But research suggests optimal levels for immune function, bone health, and chronic disease prevention fall between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. If your doctor tells you your vitamin D is fine at 32, push back and ask for the actual number. Testing should be your first step. The 25-hydroxyvitamin D blood test costs roughly $50 without insurance and tells you exactly where you stand. Guessing is pointless when you can measure. Once you know your level, you can dose appropriately. Most people need between 2,000 and 5,000 IU daily to reach and maintain optimal levels, though individual variation exists. Vitamin D3 is superior to D2. That's cholecalciferol versus ergocalciferol if you're reading supplement labels. D3 is the form your skin produces naturally and is more effective at raising blood levels. Take it with fat for optimal absorption since it's fat-soluble. Daily dosing is more physiologic than weekly megadoses, though weekly works if daily is inconvenient. Pair with vitamin K2 and magnesium, which works synergistically with vitamin D. Many people supplementing D without adequate magnesium don't see their levels rise effectively. The immune connection is particularly relevant. Vitamin D deficiency correlates with worse outcomes from respiratory infections, including influenza and COVID. While supplementation won't make you invincible, it's a basic immune system requirement. Winter illness patterns partly reflect seasonal vitamin D deficiency. Toxicity concerns are overblown but not non-existent. You cannot get vitamin D toxicity from sun exposure. Your skin has feedback mechanisms preventing overproduction. Food-based toxicity is virtually impossible. Supplement toxicity requires sustained intake above 10,000 IU daily for extended periods. At recommended doses, toxicity is not a realistic concern, but this is why testing and appropriate dosing matter. Retest after 3 months of supplementation to ensure you're hitting target levels and adjust dosing if needed. Some people are vitamin D resistant and require higher doses than average. You won't know unless you test. We've created an indoor, covered-up lifestyle that's fundamentally incompatible with adequate vitamin D status. Supplementation isn't some optional wellness trend. It's compensating for a modern environment our bodies weren't designed for.